everybody.
Hi, guys.
I'm Melanie.
I'm Santana.
And this is just one more chapter. And I know, this is airing on a Monday.
Yes.
Not a Friday. You're like, what's going on?
Little mishap with the schedule.
Life gets in the way sometimes.
Exactly.
So we'll be back to regular programming for this coming Friday.
Yes.
So sorry about that. But also, it's the end of the month. It's kind of, this is the book review episode.
Yes.
So it's not a big deal, but sorry if you were expecting it for Friday. There's like so many things to talk about, and I think we're gonna like save it to this Friday's episode.
Yes.
There's like so many things that we need to chat about.
A lot of drama going on.
Oh my goodness, drama, and then book news of a
Yes.
certain series. I did want to mention that like I'm really enjoying We Were Liars.
Oh, the series. Oh, okay, because I tried to read the book, and then
It's not good.
No, not for me.
It's not good.
I don't know what it was.
How
I'm just
long
like-
did you?
I read like about 20%.
Okay.
And then I was like, no, this isn't for me. I just have other things I want to read more.
Yeah.
And it's just,
That's what I was feeling like.
I figured I'd give it a shot because it wasn't like that long of a book. So I was like, I'll try it out. But yeah, not for me. I don't know if it's like too young or I don't know what it is. But
I have seen people who've said that they didn't like the book.
yeah.
They liked the book when you got to the ending, but they didn't like, they agreed there was terrible writing. And so like, maybe it's because we're too older. It's not for us.
Yeah.
I just think the writing's not good.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
It's like
not
I was
for
like
me.
rushing through it.
Yeah.
Like reading more fast than I usually do.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted to be done with
You're
it.
like, what is happening here?
Yeah.
But the show's good?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay, I'm going to check it out.
I'm really enjoying the show. I'm on like the third episode. And I enjoy knowing where the story's going to go and watching it.
Yeah.
It makes a whole different perspective of watching the show, but I
Yeah.
think not knowing is still going to be a great watch.
Okay, cool.
The actors are great. There's some better actors than others. The writing isn't bad.
Oh, good.
So yeah, I definitely recommend
Good.
watching
Yeah,
We
because
Were
I seen
Liars.
people reviewing it and they were enjoying it. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
I'm enjoying it.
Check out the show.
Yeah, it's a good one. So definitely check it out if you haven't. Okay, well, spoilers.
Spoiler alert. We are going through Leave Me Behind.
So, should we let's get to our rating and then see by the end of it if we still stick with our rating.
Yes.
Do you know on top of your head what did you rate
Yeah, I
it?
gave it a 4.
I think I did too. I'm just going to double check. Okay. Oh, wow. I gave it like 5.5.
Oh, you can do that much?
Ooh, but baby, yeah, on Fable. What do you mean?
Oh, I didn't know you could go more than that.
All right, no, 4.5.
You could go more than 5. I was like, oh, wow.
No. Wow.
Impressive. 10-star ratings over here.
You're so hilarious. You're right. 4.5.
4.5.
So
Okay.
stupid. Yeah, I gave it 4.5, and we can get to like
Yeah,
why we
we'll
gave it the
explain
ratings.
why after. Definitely.
This is both of our first like pain kink type of book.
Yes.
So like going into it, did you have any expectations or?
No, not really. I mean,
Yeah.
I was excited because I've never read like a military romance, so I was excited to like kind of dive into that.
Yeah, I was
aspect
curious.
of it.
I was curious to see like how graphic, because military, you're thinking like a lot of
Yeah.
gore, I guess. So
yeah.
I was didn't really know what to expect.
Yeah. That was like me too.
But I think for me, the book really kind of gripped you.
Oh, right from the beginning. I loved it. Yeah.
I loved it too. Like we first come out meeting Bones,
Yes.
the main male character, and his partner,
Abram.
Abraham.
Yeah.
Abram.
I know I kept calling, in my notes I have Abraham, but it's Abram.
Is it?
Yeah.
In my mind, I was like Abraham. It is either way. AB passes away, and then that's where the book starts.
Yeah.
You're like, what's
You're
going
like,
on
whoa.
here?
Yeah, and then it jumps into Nell's perspective. And yeah, she's been reassigned to a new squad called Malum after her entire squad was killed.
Yeah, like I kind of like how she gave us so much information right at the beginning to really put us in there.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. So it immediately jumps for her getting on an airplane to
Yeah.
go meet this new squad.
Yes.
And of course, she has to sit in between
Of course.
two hot males.
Yes.
Who happen to be twins.
Yep.
I just thought it was funny. Like, at first, it was kind of like unbelievable. Like,
Yeah.
why would she be sitting in the middle seat?
Yeah.
But then I'm thinking, like, these are boys. Like, they're not going to
Yeah.
be choosing seats next to
Seats
each other.
right beside each other, especially because they're like tall and big.
They're going to think it's like unmasculine
Yeah.
to choose a seat next to each other.
Exactly.
So after I thought about it, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense why they wouldn't choose seats next to each other.
Exactly.
But at first, it was just like, okay.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like, not even like 3% in, she has to say he's the easily most beautiful man I've ever laid my eyes on.
Yes, of course.
Typical. Typical.
Yeah, but she's actually, so it's Aaron and Bradshaw are the twins' names. She's flirting with Aaron and doesn't really talk to Bradshaw at all.
No, he definitely, because he wasn't giving the vibes of like, talk
No.
to me.
Yeah.
Where I think he is more of like golden retriever energy.
Yes.
In that moment, he was.
In that moment, for
Yes.
sure.
In that
He's
moment, he
more
was.
open and flirty.
I just love that I just found it funny that she made them twins.
Yeah, I know, right?
But you can already see that Bones, or Bradshaw, she knows them like about scars on their face, and she's like, "Who are these guys? Like, what are
I
they
think
doing?"
she figured they must be military.
Yeah, totally. What other type of guy would
Yeah,
would be on would look like that and not be
Yeah.
military?
exactly.
And yeah, they kind of get to like flirting right away.
Yeah, and then Aaron invites her to the club.
I like how she spelled Aaron's name.
Yeah, me too.
That was cool.
Yeah, I liked it.
We already get to know, well, before she gets to the club, we already know that she's kind of been in this military since she was 15 and she was an orphan.
Yeah.
So I kind of like that because sometimes they make these characters go into there and like they're so good all of a sudden.
Yeah, exactly.
So I like that. It was like, okay, she's been in it first since she was so young.
Yes.
It makes sense of why she's so good later on in the book.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I appreciated.
So she gets invited to the club. She meets up with them at the club. And then she noticed Bradshaw keeps on staring at her, and she's like, well, okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's like, maybe
She's
I
like,
should just go
that's
back.
weird, because like Aaron was the one who invited her. That's kind of what she had in mind, was like going home with Aaron. She's like, wanted one last night of fun before she had to go back.
Yes.
Right?
Well, she was expecting it to be like a bar. I don't think she was expecting it to be like a
no,
full-on like,
club.
nightclub.
Music bumping.
So yeah, they start to get drinks. There's something in the way he stares at me, like a starved man who's contemplating a heinous act. You don't have to tell me there isn't one good thought in his head. Red flags are flying all around the sky, but I can't look away. He captivates me, scares me. I can kill a man in 5 seconds flat. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, there. My mom's always said I was into bad guys. I doubt she knew I'd grow up to be into one who's clearly had psychological problems. The ones you don't tell God about when you pray at church to forgive your sins. The ones with dark backstories and baggage.
So yeah, she starts dancing. Some guy comes up to her, and then immediately Bradshaw's like, "You came here with us." Like,
Okay.
okay. Girl's not
Immediately.
like, you don't even know this girl.
You're here with us. We were supposed to dance with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting, but like, okay. So people, like, they were having exchanges.
Yeah.
She definitely was like into it. She definitely was
Yes.
like, ooh, okay. I like this.
Yep.
And then, okay, here comes the smells. When these books do smells, I can't help it. It's just so funny. He smells like a crisp forest in the morning before the mist settles.
Like, when has anyone ever thought that about someone? I'm sorry. Like,
No cologne or perfume is going to
It's
capture
always
the mist of the morning dew.
the morning dew of the forest. Like, what?
It's, I
That's
can't.
just not something that my brain does, but
I can't help but giggle. I'll giggle when they do those things.
Right.
Erin comes up and is like shocked. She's like, you got Bradshaw to dance with you? What did you do? Grab his dick or something?
I know. I was like, okay, Erin.
Why would you think that.
I know.
The only way that he would dance with her if she's like, hey, what's up?
Like grabs his junk. Ridiculous.
And then she was like, thought maybe like he'd be upset about that.
Yeah.
And then he goes, all cards are on the table.
Yeah. And I think he was hoping she would hook up with Bradshaw,
Yeah.
right? Because he probably needed that release.
Which is, yeah, like he wanted to bring her there to like push him towards him.
Yeah.
It worked. He has a hard time with women, you know, because he's an asshole. I thought you two might get along. No shit. He should try not to be such a creep. And then he like digs his hands into her hips.
Yes. Possessive.
Okay, so then like they're like saying like, hey, should we get out of here? You know,
Yeah.
like let's go. And then Bradshaw gives his brother a nod, and Aaron presses a kiss to my forehead.
Okay.
I just
A forehead kiss is so intimate.
Yes, you barely know this girl, and you're just like giving her a kiss to the. I don't know. I just was like,
It's like, okay, that's so weird.
like it doesn't. It's not unbelievable that you go to a place, you want to hook up, and the guy's
Yeah.
like, yeah, sure, fine, whatever. But then be like, mwah, bye.
Kisses her on the forehead. Like, so intimate. For what?
And then they're not being coy or shy at all.
No.
She's like, come back to my hotel.
Yep.
Like, let's go.
Exactly.
Let's get this over with.
Yes. They go back to the hotel. He basically straight up is like, I'm not here to get to know you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
Right off the bat, not
this is just literally
Transactional.
transactional hookup. She's like, okay,
yeah.
no problem.
it
She's
gets-
like a little bit taken aback because she's like, I don't usually do this, right? And he's like, I'll lead.
Yeah, no, he was like, yeah, let me take your clothes off. I like to do it.
I'll lead.
Okay. So she gets into the dirty bits like immediately.
And I think this is what also like pulled me into because I'm like, whoa, right off the bat, super spicy.
Super spicy. He's super dominant.
Yes.
Super dominant
Yeah.
of how he wants to talk to her,
Yeah.
how he wants to do with her. And she's like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
Like, she's like not turned off by all.
No, she's loving it.
She loves it. And now they get to dirty talking. The whole, like, you'll scream for me stuff.
Yeah. It's like, what? I don't even know you.
Oh. And then then it goes to like I think it's tomorrow, the next day.
Yeah.
She's like, "Why are you still here?" The corner of his lip kicks up, and he sits a hand on the wall behind me. No one's kicked me out before, and I didn't like it. Oh, she was like, yeah, she was
Yeah,
gonna kick
because
him
no,
out.
it was like right after. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna go shower, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was the next
And
day.
then he like hops in the shower with her, and she's like, what the hell?
Yeah, and then just from her, I guess, saying like, you can go. Now he's like intrigued.
Yeah.
And then they start like talking
Yeah.
to get to know one each other. I thought they were like cute.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah.
And then she's basically like, I'm hungry, I'm gonna go get a bite to eat. And then they head to a diner together to go get some food. And then they're kind of like, you know, talking to each other, getting to know each other. And then he asks her a question, what she does for a living. And she says, I'm a librarian or something along those lines.
Yeah. At first, she doesn't want to. Oh, and then immediately he talks about him being an orphan too with Aaron. Where is it? Where does she talk about her stuff? It's just weird that like both of them for being in the work that they do, that they would immediately say, tell a stranger their
Yeah.
background information. Because we know later on is that like even their partners don't know their names.
Exactly.
So-
yeah, they're like in the dark forces. But yeah, but then he kind of starts to clue in, like, oh, like, are you in the military? And
Yeah. How does he clue into that?
Because she lied to him about what she does, and he knew she was lying. And then basically he was like, is there a reason why you're lying? And then he's like, oh, you must be in the military. And then he's like, oh, you're the bunny. Right?
I thought before the interaction of what they were talking about, because he brought up like, I'm a devil, and then she goes like, I'm a reaper, and I'm like, who are you guys talking about? What kind of weird conversation is this? Before like he clues in,
Yeah.
I'm just like, huh?
Yeah.
He's like, you aren't Penelope Gallows, are you?
Yeah.
And then, and then you're effing Bunny.
Oh, God.
And she does not like to be called Bunny. I don't know. What did you think of the nickname Bunny?
I mean, it kind of makes sense. Like,
Yeah, Bunny Rabbit.
it's like small, kind of feminine. Like,
I guess making her feel less than.
Yeah.
Is the type of
Yeah.
nickname they're giving to her.
exactly.
Okay, so yeah, they are. This is apparently like and she finds out he's her sergeant, so the main boss.
Aaron's the sergeant, and then
Oh, that's right.
Bones
Bones.
is her second in
Yes.
command. So she's basically has to report to him and Aaron.
And then we start to hear her talk about Jenkins.
Yes.
Which we don't know who he is yet, but
Yeah, she does bring him up a little bit.
yeah, she goes, time to set in a cold bitch face Jenkins taught me. Otherwise, you'll be eaten alive. So you're like,
Who's Jenkins?
who's this Jenkins? So there's a lot of guys on Malum Squad. Or sorry, we find out there's Malum Squad, then we have Hades, and then we have Riot. So then like Malum Squad is like the first one.
Yeah.
Hades is the hounds they send to wreak havoc. Riot, the executors of traitors.
Yeah.
And then this is the Malum, the evil squad, the squad that goes where no one else can go or is qualified to go to snuff out the enemy quietly like ghost in the dark. So,
Yeah, and the riot squad was Nell's previous squad.
Yes.
They all got killed except for her.
yes. And then we find out they all go by code names.
Yes.
So then you don't tell anyone your real name. So then we have Jefferson, Pete, Ian, and Harris. Their code names are Jobs, Badger, Colt, Wasp, and Bones. My code name is just Sergeant. Okay.
Okay.
And they're like, your code name is Bunny. And then she was not into
She was
it.
not having that. She's like, no.
And somehow your squad chooses your own code name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Weird.
Whatever. It could have been worse, to be honest with you.
Honestly. It's kind of cute.
Yeah, it is cute.
But yeah, the team is super mean to her. They do not want her there. They make it known like right from the beginning. And they blame her for what happened in Patagonia. That's where Bradshaw's partner was killed.
Yes, they blame the
Right?
riot squad for whatever thing that happened.
Yeah, because they failed to show up.
But then she thinks they failed to show up.
Yeah.
Right. So they're both thinking they're the problem of what happened.
Exactly.
Because also, do we know what happened to Jenkins too? I don't think so.
No.
We only know what happened
not
to
yet.
Bones' partner.
Yeah, exactly.
So they always try and go head to head. She's already trying to assert dominance, being like, "You guys are not going to like do this to me." Like, and they're like, "Hey, guys, we all have to get along."
Yeah.
And then, they're already talking in front of her like she doesn't exist. They're already saying in front of her, like, what does it take to get a bunny to quit? And then one guy's like, a big fucking carrot. Was that funny? Okay.
Nice one.
And then, so they're just like, she already's like, but you guys you're not accepting me. You're going to try and bully me to quit just because I'm a riot soldier. And immediately we could tell, this is not going to be a good thing for her.
Nope. So they will be embarking on a training mission for team bonding to see if they work well together. And then Erin kind of tells her, like, do not mention anything about what happened. Like, keep it on the low. We don't need the team knowing about this.
No, I'm sure she doesn't want to either. It would just undermine her even more if they found out. And then it jumps 5 years prior.
And this is kind of where we find out about Jenkins.
So Jenkins was her sergeant.
And lover.
And did you assume that it probably was going to be happening with Jenkins?
Yeah. It was pretty obvious.
Yeah.
You know?
I did too.
Yeah, so basically we learned like he kind of saw the darkness in her and took her under his wing.
It jumps back to present, and then It's like Bones showers separately. None of us are allowed to know what he looks like. So if you're going to fuck with us, it can't be him. Oh yes, because he's wearing a mask.
Yes. Yeah, he wears a mask.
I didn't get that at first as to why like everyone else shows their face for some reason. Because I know he has scars, but why he can't show his face? You know,
I
like-
think because he's such like a highly good trained killer. Like they don't want him to get picked off. And
Oh, I guess so.
we also learn like later on because of like what happened to Abram, they want to keep him protected.
Yeah,
That's what I got from it.
Yeah, it made sense later on, but then also in my mind, rereading, like, going over this again, is that like he stands out more so by putting a mask on him,
100%.
right? Like all of them should be wearing masks. Then,
Yeah, exactly.
do you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Because then later on in the book, when she has to look like him,
Yeah.
how they're two different
Yeah.
fucking sizes.
I know that part made
I
no
digress.
sense.
So stupid. But then I'm like, but why wouldn't all of them wear masks? I know you don't want everyone else to know what he looks like, but then you're just sticking out like a sore thumb.
Yeah. Weird. So yeah, she also believes that the mission that they're going to be training for has something to do with what happened in Patagonia, and she kind of is wanting to get revenge for Jenkins. So that's why she's so gung ho on like not leaving and wanting to be there so badly, right?
Immediately, we get the title of the book was Jenkins' last words to her was "I love you, Gallows. Leave me behind." Okay, it's kind of cute sometimes when they name the title of the book.
Yeah.
It's like naming a movie.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. Yeah, I bet for me immediately I was intrigued. I liked the talking back and forth. You know, sometimes you're reading a book and you kind of want it to get to the action.
Yeah.
I didn't mind them all interacting.
No, I liked it too.
Yeah.
It was nice.
I also did like that she was kind of giving us her inner thoughts too, of like, you know, when she was talking to the guys and she's like, okay, wait, you have to just like step back, don't let them get to you. I kind of like we were kind of getting
In her head.
but not too much because that could be overdone too, you know?
Yeah.
So, but I kind of like a little bit.
Yeah, this book was really well written, I do have to say.
Me too. Yeah. So then we get like a tension interaction between the two.
Yes.
And it's with Bones and her, and he's like, I want you to quit. And then she's like, it's not happening. And then he shoves her back by the shoulders right into a cinder block wall.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want you as my second. None of us want you on the squad, Bunny. And then he like uses Jenkins' death
Yes.
in her face.
Yeah.
It's like you couldn't even keep your first alive.
Yeah.
And then he like rocks her freaking head so back, but then like
Protects it
Yes.
with his hand. It's like,
But it does make her like become dizzy.
yeah, she's like taken aback for sure.
And then, but then it's in front of people too. This isn't like in private.
Yeah.
Everyone sees what's going on.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, well, you're as good as dead. And then she's like, not if I let the enemy kill you first.
Like, girl.
And then he's like, well, I bet that's the reason your last second died.
Yeah.
Saving your ungrateful ass. So I thought like it was immediate, like he was so aggressive with her,
Yeah.
telling her not to stay to quit. I was like, oh, goodness. So yes, there are 5 hostages deep in the Rocky Mountains, and their mission is to find them, extract them safely, and return to the pickup location by 1700, exactly 3 weeks from today, of like a
Yes.
fake mission.
A fake mission using fake bullets, everything.
Which I thought was, you know, obviously I don't know how that works, but it makes sense. You don't want to just randomly pick up a person, whether it's a girl or boy, and be like, come with us and do
Yeah.
this really high level mission.
Yeah, so like as they're on a mission, Bradshaw starts to open up a little bit about like Abram, and now opens up a little bit about Jenkins as well. And Bradshaw's kind of explaining like, I see a lot of Abram traits in you, kind of thing, right? And she's like, well, I'm not him. Like,
Yeah.
give me a chance here. She wants to kind of have a truce, but he ain't having it.
Nope. But they get into kind of like a situation, and she kind of saves her butts. Right? She shows her skills.
Yes.
And she gets kind of like a little bit of a praise from, was it Bones?
No.
No, it was someone else. It was Aaron?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron.
Yeah. He tells her good job. So she's like, okay. But she still doesn't think it's, good enough. And then, like, which I kind of found strange how they were talking about, they were going back and forth and they both were egging each other of, like, Bones with Nell, with Abe, with Jenkins, and then for Bones for Abram.
Yeah.
And then she goes into like apologize to
Yeah.
him. But like she said, I'm sorry, what I was saying is out of line, which was nice.
Yeah.
But he never apologized back to her.
No.
And then this is when this altercation with Bones, Aaron, and Harris come over.
Yeah, so I think she's on night watch. She's on night watch with Bradshaw, and the other soldiers come up, and she's like, "What are you guys doing?" They pin her down. Oh my god! And she starts. Bones pulls out a knife, and she's like, "Whoa! Like, what is going on?" She's like, "I've never had this in the riot squad. And they did some like serious hazing on me, but she's like, this is intense." Yeah. So basically, pin her down, and he's like cutting through her clothes.
I was
then
like,
starts to like carve in her skin.
yeah. And the other guy's like, whoa, like, what I
This
mean?
is too far.
Yeah, it's like, we're not expecting you to do this.
But then she gets turned on.
Yes, she gets turned on. Yes, the pain gives me a high, while his lustful eyes gripping my hands, and the swelling crotch sets my nerves ablaze.
Like, you guys are freaks.
Ooh. Yep. And then, she does cry though, because obviously who wouldn't?
Obviously it hurts. Like,
Yeah.
He's cutting under her like boob. Like,
Yes.
Oh my god.
And
Brutal.
then they all like leave her.
Yeah.
And then
No, the one soldier picks her up and brings her back. He's like, "This is way too far. Like, fuck
Oh, okay,
this."
yes.
He
Oh yeah,
picks her up
Jefferson. Yeah.
and brings her back to camp.
That's right. That's right. And then it goes into Bones' perspective of then like Pete's being like, "What is wrong with you?" Like Jesus
Aaron
Christ.
is pissed.
Yep. And then in Bones' mind, he goes, "Maybe I did go a bit too far, but the more she reacted to my touch, the more I wanted to see."
Yeah, how far it would go. I was like, okay.
And then his brother comes and punches him right in the
Yeah,
face.
he's pissed. Yeah.
He's never struck me before ever.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's just like, "What are you thinking? Like, what are you doing?"
Yeah. He explains like they need her and that it doesn't matter if she dies on the mission, they don't want her coming home. This is where we kind of get like what's going on here? You know,
Yeah, she's not Abraham. We
Something's-
need her.
something's going on behind the scenes.
So what if she dies on the mission? We only have one objective, is to not getting her home. Stop fucking with the plan. But then it immediately goes to, he pictures her as Abram.
Yeah.
And that like triggers something in
Yeah.
her. And then he's like, well, no, now I'm going to like make it my mission to make her leave.
Yeah.
He does
exactly.
not want to see
He
her
doesn't-
die.
Yeah, he doesn't want that to go through that again.
And she doesn't want the incident reported.
Yeah. She's not going to report it.
No, because I think she's worried she'll get pushed from the mission.
Yeah, exactly.
And she immediately clocks it like, oh, he's trying to make me quit. And I'm not going to let him do that.
Exactly.
So,
And then it's weird because after that, they go to sleep and Bradshaw puts his like hand over the wound and like comforts her.
yeah.
I was like, what?
Such
He
a-
literally just cut her open.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little strange, but
It's strange because we don't know if he feels bad. We kind of know that he wants her to quit.
Yeah.
Which means he doesn't want her to die.
yeah.
But to immediately go back to touching her is such an intimate thing.
Yeah, and comforting her
Yeah.
after what you just did to her.
And
is
her
so
being okay with
strange.
it too, though.
Yeah,
That's
so
even stranger.
strange. Yeah.
Because you want, like, even though she knows why he's doing it.
Yeah.
But for her to not be not to be stubborn, but to be like, to set boundaries, be like, no, you're an ass.
Yeah.
You don't get to touch me again.
Exactly.
But she liked it.
Yeah, she did.
She was getting turned on.
She's like loving it.
Okay.
And then it kind of jumps into them being on like a mock mission.
Okay.
And Nell kills and snipes all the targets, but then Bradshaw still isn't impressed.
Okay, yep.
And I think he sneaks up behind her and he's like, well, if I was an enemy, I would have slit your throat.
Yes, because she was looking through her scope and like, where is he?
Yeah.
She should see him.
Yeah.
And then, if I were an enemy, you would have been dead 10 minutes ago.
And then they kind of get into a tussle here.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, she's like, what do you want?
Yeah.
He's like, I want you to quit, Bunny. And then she goes, I told you I'm not going to. I don't know how many times I have to save your guys' asses.
Yeah.
And then he like gets like really close to her and like whispers her name.
Yeah.
My name sounds more like a plea than a threat. More like Jenkins' voice than Bradshaw's. I'm not letting you join our squad. Either you quit or I'll make you. And then,
And then they get tossed off a cliff. And then he's upset that she's injured at this point, right? Because her wound breaks open and she's bleeding again and weird.
He gets upset,
Yeah.
that the thing becomes open again. And immediately he's like, goes into like, oh my God, like, are you okay?
Yeah. And then this is where she's like, it's not my fault you discovered my king. Okay.
Say that immediately. He calls her a masochist.
Yeah.
That I knew you liked when I carved you up. It's not my fault you discovered my kink. Oh my goodness. Yeah. What the hell am I supposed to do to get him to trust me? I don't know. And then he
Oh God. And then this part is wild.
when he's like this, like, because he has all her blood on himself. And then he said, this is usually when my panic sets in,
Yeah.
when my anxiety spreads through my veins after training and all I can think of is death. So we already know, like, he's good at what he does, but he does
He's
have a
got
mental
some
health issue.
severe PTSD.
And then he pleasures himself.
With her blood on his hands.
This was like, so, like, what is
I
happening?
know, I'd never heard of that before. It's like way out of left field.
Ooh.
Wild.
Yeah, and it was like so quick too. Like it was 2 pages.
Yeah.
And then I was like gone. You're
It
like,
was gone.
whoa, what the heck?
You're like, okay.
Okay, we're immediately going into the
Yeah. Wild.
Yep.
And then it's back at camp and Nell finds out that Bradshaw has to take these breathers after his missions, right?
They immediately tell her that like he has PTSD after Abram died.
Yeah.
And then that like he was almost removed from the squad. And then she's asking like, well, what was he like before? It's just getting like background information of like who he used to be and what he is now. And she kind of is like, why is he still on the squad?
Yeah. Like he's not fit for duty wise. He's still here kind of thing.
And I know we touched on it, but the guys don't know that the Aaron, their sergeant, is Bones'
they
brother.
don't know they're related at all.
Which in her brain is like, okay, then it makes sense as to why he's still on the squad.
Yeah.
Because he has someone higher up.
Exactly. And then they start asking her, like, what happened in Patagonia, right? And she kind of starts opening up about Jenkins and tells them she was forced to leave him behind.
Yeah, like she was saying, like we were given different orders. And then she's like, well, what happened to Abram? And then they go like, well, it's Bones' story to tell.
Yeah.
We're not going to say anything.
Exactly.
Which is, I understand like that was his like second or first, but it was your squad mate too.
Also, did you get the feeling like they were in a relationship or
Yes.
something?
Yes.
Like lovers?
Yes.
Okay, because I was like, why is he so obsessed with this man?
Yes.
Like,
yes.
I get, like, you guys were really close buddies, but, like, the way he talked about him sometimes, it was like they were lovers, but
Yeah, I got those.
that's never brought up in the book. But, like,
No.
just the way he talked about him and stuff like that, I was like, oh, okay, were they, like, a little lovers?
I'm curious as to if she's ever had interviews of delved into that because
Yeah.
I mean I thought that too.
Yeah.
I was like, there's something going on other than just like
Something going on
buddies.
here.
Yeah,
Like, I get you guys are, like, really close partners, but I don't know,
because he
just the
never
way-
talks about him being bisexual, not once, which is fine. But yeah, I was getting like he loved him more than
lover
just that.
vibes, yeah.
Yep.
100%. And then Bradshaw returns, and he's in this like catatonic state, like not talking, not responding, like very weird.
I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah. I didn't think a man as hard as cruel as him could be this broken inside. She asks Aaron, like, what's wrong with him? She's like, honestly, I don't know. This is the third time in 2 years he vanishes for hours and comes back like this. Why is he still active? He's a liability. And then he says, you know what our line of work entails? No discharges. The only way you get out of the dark forces is in a body bag or earning your cards. They never really get into like the cards aspect.
Yeah.
They talk about it, but like I would like to know like what is adequate for your cards. Like how
Yeah.
many missions do you need to go on?
Exactly.
Like I was hoping to get more information about that.
What do you need to do in order to get those?
Yeah, they just like you have to earn your cards.
It's like some people do and then some people don't. It's very weird.
Yeah. And then, like, Aaron gets a little touchy. Gets a little touchy. He sets his hand on her thigh before standing up, that was just a weird, like,
Little add-in.
and then he, like, leaves.
Yeah, he's got to go do the night watch. And he's like, can you watch Bradshaw while I go?
And he grabs her wrist.
Yeah, he comes too. Gets out of her state and he's like,
Well, he's kind of coming to, I think.
yeah.
Like, he's kind of not really, like, talking. He's just
Yeah.
holding on to her. And she's like, Bradshaw.
Comforting him.
Yeah. And she doesn't move aside for, like, 20 minutes. Because she's like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And then she tries to leave, and he's
And
like,
then
what are you
What are
doing?
you doing?
She's like, you wouldn't let go? And then he's like, Bunny? Who else would it fucking be? here?"
Hello.
Maybe he's thinking Abram? I don't know.
Yeah.
So then, like, she thinks he's finally gonna go, and then, like, he pulls her in to lay with her.
Yeah.
And then he says, the things you do to me, Bun.
And then he's like, is this the part where he's like, my dick is covered in your blood?
Okay, like, I think these moments are cute. They're getting to know each other, but, like, the instant of, like, let me just tell you everything.
Wild. I was like, whoa. And then they get busy in the tent.
It's just like when he was like, I couldn't control myself. You like the darkest parts of me, which how do you know she likes the darkest parts of you? Okay.
Yeah.
And then I wanted you all over my cock.
Yeah, like, whoa. Especially with her blood being on there, like, you guys are freaky.
Freaky. Oh my goodness.
And I think this is the part where she asks him about Abram and, like, what he, the way he describes.
Okay, wait.
Oh, okay.
Wait. Before we go past that.
Yeah.
They have dirty talk.
Yeah.
And then he's like, spit on it.
Oh, yeah.
It just is like,
Okay.
just the way she like describes these sex scenes is just so.
I know, it's crazy.
Okay, so we gotta move past that. Okay. Wait, no. The thing she says, I can't get past it, you guys. Oh wait, no, he cuts himself.
Oh, does he?
Yes. So they're like getting into it. Oh baby, breaking you comes much later.
Yeah.
And then the starburst scar on his neck is soft. Wait.
Oh, doesn't she bite him?
I don't know, it's like
She bites him.
oh god.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she bit his neck or something.
Because she goes, oh my god, she cups his neck.
Yeah.
And then like starts to bleed.
Bit him. Yeah.
What he says though, I guess this is our
Yeah.
kink. So he likes to say kink like aggressive like
They both
violent
like
things.
the pain. Yeah.
Yes, but then he goes, hold that cut tight, Bunny, and don't move unless you want a knife up your pussy.
It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just hatred and desire aren't so different. Both are an obsessive, all-consuming emotion. It's a thin line to walk on, which is it's true.
Very true.
It's so funny. I need to submit to me. Was this a long freaking sex scene?
Yeah, there was like long. Some of the
Ooh.
big ones.
And then she like passes out.
Yeah.
She like they're gonna get cleaned up, and then she like fades to black. She passes
Yeah.
out, and it goes into his point of view, and then she's like comes to and is like where are we? What's going on? And then he's like, well, we got to get cleaned up or people are going to like see us all blood over each other. Like,
You guys are crazy.
yep. And then immediately she goes, who was Abram to you? Exactly.
So this part is where I thought like they were lovers because the way he describes it, I was like, okay.
Yeah, he was my peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the way Cam.
The vibe.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was getting they were sexual lovers.
Yes.
But again, never gets, it's just our assumption.
Yeah.
And then she goes, Jakin was her piece too. So they kind of, bond over that.
Yeah.
And then she says, he says, I'm glad it wasn't you. He wouldn't have been able to survive without a second.
Yeah.
That was kind of sweet. And then he says into his mind that he feels jealous that she still loves a dead man.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't want her to feel that way for anyone.
Yeah. So he's already falling for her.
And then she might think I broke her tonight, but she's the one who broke me. So we're like, okay, you guys are like this now.
Yep.
She knows how to write sex scenes, is all I'm going to say.
Yes,
She knows how to write.
Like,
Even though for it being like it's a pain thing and I don't
not
get
into
that.
but
No.
yeah.
But I believed it between them two.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were good scenes.
They were really good scenes.
And then Erin returns, and Nell opens up about why she's in the Dark Forces. So we finally realize, like, why she is the way she is, right? Her parents were murdered in a home invasion, and she killed the people that did it. And she said she liked it.
For being a 15-year-old, do I really? Or is
Yeah.
do I really believe that?
I mean, she did say, like, her dad always took her hunting. She had a good shot. So,
Okay.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, but...
I've seen movies where,
and
the,
that's kind of the age where people who are psychopaths or serial killers,
True.
they kind of, the traits start to come out.
True. Yeah, and like, hey, if it's just like with any skill, hers just happened to be shooting.
Yes.
Her dad did, like you said, dad did teach her, so
Yeah.
it makes sense she can be really good at 15.
Yeah.
So, I'll believe that. But yeah, that's so sad.
Yeah. But again, Erin doesn't really return anything. We don't know why they are the way that they are.
Yeah, and then she like you said, she liked it. And then he goes, damn, you really are like Bones. For his brother to say that he's a monster too,
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought that was strange, but he understands.
Especially finding out like what we find out afterwards about like why they are the way they are. I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
to say like your brother's a monster too now? Okay.
Yeah, that's weird.
I thought that was weird too. And it was cute before she talks about what happened to her parents. She says like she would love, her dream is to have a coffee shop with books.
Yes.
Which is so cute.
Get married and all that.
And then it immediately goes into they're surrounded.
They get ambushed the next day while they're having breakfast around the fire. And Nell gets hit in the leg.
And then he's like, well, you're out.
Yeah, you failed.
She's like, what? Like,
She's like, I'm still good.
yeah. But it's like, it's kind of like paintball. You get hit, you got to come out.
Exactly.
And she's not happy about that at all.
No. But then she's like, well, if that's the way you guys are going to be, I'm going to tell on you about what Bradshaw did to me, right?
Good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. She
So
goes,
you can play that game.
that's what she said. She goes, I'll let you think on it, Sergeant. If they want to play dirty, then I'll play in the fucking mud.
Yep.
Because she knows, like, her spot on the squad is relying on this, right? Like,
Yeah.
if she fails, she's out.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. And then she was like, fine, I'll give up the spot, but on the condition that you can find a soldier better than me. I want to be on the mock hostile squad, and if you guys can overthrow our base and take the captives, then I'll throw in the towel.
Yes.
You already knew that she was gonna,
Obviously.
But
But then, yeah, the squad kind of shuns her after that, right? After the mission's complete and they head back.
And
Back
Erin,
to square one.
Aaron does say like, hey, like I voted for you to stay.
Yeah.
Which
Which I found a little odd.
yeah. Why would everyone else but him want her
Yeah.
to stay? This kind of like, I didn't really clock into it, but as the book gets more and more on of where like we need her to stay on, you're like,
Yeah.
does he want her dead?
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck? She goes, what does it say? I'm not supposed to tell anyone that the general was going to sneak me out of the dark forces after Riot's demise, but I refused it.
Yeah, she earned her cards. And then they're like back at the base, and Aaron says like she has to stay in his room for some reason.
Yeah, I know. Like, and she's fine with it. She was like, "Oh, like I'd rather sleep naked next to Aaron than 50 feet anywhere near Bradshaw."
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, okay.
I don't believe that you would say that after that interaction.
After you guys had sex. In the
And also to say like you would sleep naked.
yeah,
Come on.
weird.
Sure. So I think Aaron says this next mission is more than earning our cards now. It's revenge for Bones. Especially, I can't get into details, but we both know it ties into Patagonia. And then he has a debt to pay. Oh, she says that he has a debt to pay.
Yeah.
And then he goes,
he's a yeah.
that's what you do too. It's interesting why he thinks that like he's the responsible for how Bradshaw is. And then, but her to be like, I like the way broken men grieve.
Very odd.
Such an odd statement.
And then Aaron invites her out to breakfast.
Yeah, getting really like close with her. I don't know. I was getting like interesting vibes from Aaron.
Yeah.
That like I didn't think he had anything bad intention here, but I was just like wondering why he was being so sweet to her.
Yeah.
Because they would go out for breakfast and just kind of act like they're not these people.
Normal. So yeah, they're at breakfast, and then Nala keeps on eyeing the waitress's dress, and Aaron's like, well, why don't you go buy a dress, you know? Like, be a normal person.
And then Bradshaw, which is so intimate, a hand lands on the nape of my neck. And then she goes instantly, she tries to like, hit the person.
Yeah.
And he goes, easy kill, it's your favorite fuck boy. How would he say that?
I know. Yes, they're going to go like surfing, but Nell is like afraid of water. The ocean.
She's afraid of the ocean.
Yeah. But yeah.
And the reason why is because she watched 2 children getting eaten alive by sharks when she was a kid. I was like, this girl's had a lot of fucking
Trauma.
a lot of trauma going on with this girl.
But yeah, he convinces her to go out on the surfboard and then proceeds to like tip her over a couple times.
Yeah. Yeah, like he's like and so she's thinking like he's gonna try and like kill me
on the water.
Yeah. And then he's like, no, like, hey, calm down.
Yeah.
I don't think he really thought she was being serious of like
How scared she was. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, you're really that scared? And yeah, because she wants to remain, strong in front of all these guys, especially Bones.
Yeah.
And it was, she did not like feeling little or small like that.
But he does kind of like help her get over her fear a little bit, but
yeah, it takes a while to get like she just thinks there's sharks lingering,
Exactly.
right? It's gonna take more than being on one surfboard to be like, okay, there's no sharks no more.
I'm good. Yeah, and then they meet back up with Aaron after, and he's like, let's go get that dress.
Okay, but before that, she does something really crazy. Okay, so she's like saying like, okay, I thought you hated me. And then he goes, no, I want to dominate you. I want to break you into a million pieces and make you only answer to me. I want to keep you as far away from my squad as possible before I ruin what's left of you. Because if you don't leave, that's what's going to happen. I'll break you just like I break everything. Is that enough? Will you shut the F up? And she spits in his face. I just thought that was such a crazy thing to do. That was wild.
But he doesn't really do anything after, which I was like kind of shocked.
No, well, I didn't think it would either. It just thought it was a crazy thing for her to do, a spit in someone's face. That's a very hatred thing to do. But yeah, he doesn't react to it. And Aaron buys her a yellow dress.
Yes.
Again, what's with Aaron? It's hard because, like, of course you find them both attractive because they're twins.
Yeah, they're twins.
The difference is there's
obviously.
just scars on Bones' face.
Exactly.
So of course you'd be turned on by Aaron too. You slept with the identical looking version of him.
Exactly.
But it's cute. She puts on the dress.
Yeah, they're back at the base. She's trying on the dress. Aaron's not in the room. And then he shows up. Bradshaw shows up. Bones. And he's like, "What are you doing here?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Immediately jealous.
So jealous.
Like, what?
He's like holding on to her.
And then it just like totally goes like left field here, and he's like, "Suck my dick."
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she's like, "Do you think this is the first time a guy's made me suck his dick?"
Okay, yes. Yeah, I know. I didn't like that.
I was like, "Okay."
I didn't like that. I'm curious if she was just saying that to get him.
But yeah, she does it.
Yep.
And
We're so drawn to each other
starts-
because we're both so toxic and cruel.
Yeah. And then starts pleasuring herself as well.
Yeah. They really get down and dirty. And then Aaron catches them.
And Aaron walks in and is like, "What the hell is going on?"
Don't stop on my account. Please, let's not do this thing where you want to watch your identical twin. Because are they identical? Yeah, they're identical.
Yeah.
But then they...
Oh my god.
Oh. And then, yeah. You two are making my life really hard right now. You know that? Oh my god.
And then it's like dripping down her thigh. And he's like, sucks it off.
Yeah.
God.
This interaction was interesting. I'm just a man. I can't look at a woman in need and not get an erection.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
brother.
And then this part was so weird. So Bradshaw leaves, and then Aaron's like, "Oh, do you want me to like help you finish yourself off?" Which I thought was so weird because like this isn't brought up again at all in the book.
Nope.
Like I just don't know what this added to the story. Like I could see if maybe they were like gonna have a threesome later on in the book, which is kind of the vibe I got from this.
Yes.
But like it's not brought up again.
No.
And they like fully are like petting and just there's no penetration. So I'm just like, what? Like,
I know.
super weird. I don't think Bradshaw even knows about this. Like, it's not brought up at all.
Oh, you're right.
In the book.
You're
after
right.
this, which I was like, that is so weird.
Yeah, I thought the whole interaction of like, okay, this is just like, this is not benefit, like, not, this is,
Just transactional.
Yes.
Yeah, like they're
Yes.
just helping each other get off.
but then just to watch each other do it, I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
super weird.
But then, yeah, you said they don't actually penetrate.
No, like he's
he
like
just fucks her thighs.
puts her thighs and like comes on her ass.
I don't know. Like it would have been. It's obviously not believable.
Yeah.
It would have been a little bit more believable if they actually penetrated.
Yeah.
What was the point of that?
I know, super weird. And just the fact that it's not brought up again. Like I
Yeah.
could see if this was like building up to like maybe them having a threesome or you know.
Yeah, it was like a weird forced interaction
Yeah.
for them to never bring it up again. Yeah, that was strange.
Super weird. It didn't really like add to the story at all.
No,
you
no,
know?
you're right.
Like
You
obviously
took
they
this
were
out.
attracted to each other. Like we get that.
Yeah.
But like this didn't need to happen.
No,
in my
if you took
opinion.
that whole chapter out, it wouldn't have changed anything.
No, exactly.
Like, yeah, I think it's just more, just to put more sex into it, I
Yeah.
guess. Because then, yeah, like, yeah, I'll move past that.
Super weird.
We get a little bit more of backstory with Bradshaw, of Bradshaw helping her, try to deal with being on a squad full of men. Which, I kind of liked how she gave us little tidbits of the past, but not chapters upon chapters upon chapters. I
Yeah.
kind of like it was like quick in and out.
Yeah, I like that too.
They're back onto a mission.
Yeah, this is the mock mission where Nell's trying to like prove herself.
Yeah. She is wanting to show them that she can take them out because she's on the opposite.
Squad, yeah.
Yeah.
And
And-
she does.
Yep.
She snipes them all.
And
no
Bones,
problem.
too.
And Bones, yeah, right in the head.
Which they're all shocked about.
Yeah, and the guy she's working with is like, I don't understand why they're even making you do this. Like, you're obviously the best in the field.
Yeah. Goes back to 3 years ago now.
Yeah, it jumps. Then they're like kind of back at the base, and Aaron is briefing them for like the real mission that they're going to be doing. And this is when he says, like, Nell, you're going to be Bones' stunt double.
This is where it is.
Yeah.
Looks like we're the only one who could be your second Bones. And they like comfort each other. They start like touching each other lovely and stuff. For the first time since I lost Abram, I felt distinct fear into my soul. I cannot let her die like he did. I will not survive it. And I think they're sleeping next to each other. Because it goes into the next chapter of like, he's like, his eyes are closed. Well, they talk about like, she asks him, like, what will you do on the other side, after you get your cards? And then he goes, I'll be dead before I get my cards. And they start to like hold on to each other. And he goes, don't let go. And she goes, everyone will see us. And he goes, I don't care. It's so cute. At this point, I was believing the fact that like he cared about her and didn't want her to get hurt.
Oh, definitely.
I bought that.
Yeah.
But Aaron does not like it. He's like, I thought I saw weakness in my brother when he partnered with Abram, but I saw raw vulnerability in him today. And he goes, is there something wrong with him being human? He goes, yes. He's the only one of us who doesn't have the luxury of being human. He's a heartless killing machine that we need on this next mission. We need to focus on your position on the squad, Bunny. No more messing around. Got it? Interesting. And then like weeks has passed. And they're about to go on like their actual mission. And they find out the other squad, apparently they're called Hades, has been compromised.
Yes.
They've been MIA for 6 months, and we've managed to locate the group behind the attacks in the Dark Forces squad. Our intel tells us that they call themselves Ghosts.
The Ghost Squad. But yeah, and then this is kind of when he's like, no, you're going to be Bones' stunt double, which doesn't make any sense because A, they're not even the same size.
No, yeah.
Like, and I was kind of like clocking like, hey, I'm getting kept in the dark about something. Like something is not right here.
Yeah, I could not get what was going on. Yeah, we're obviously different sizes. Yeah, like I thought they were going to get her killed.
Yeah.
Or like one of them was going to die. That's what my mind was going to.
100%. And then Aaron also explains that the bullet that was used to kill Abram was meant for Bones and was a black bullet, which only the riot squad used. So immediately they're like,
Yep.
there's a level of distrust there, right?
Yeah, they think she probably knows about it, but she has no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah.
That there's a rat on our squad. So
Yeah, because Bones was poisoned at the last mission. So they think there's a rat on the squad.
Yeah, they immediately like get into each other of like, was it you? Like they're immediately are like, was it your, like they're thinking it's her bullet that killed Abram meant for Bones. But then he immediately regrets that.
He's like, oh, immediately apologizes.
Which, good, I'm glad.
And then I guess Bones didn't want Nell knowing about the poisoning.
Yeah.
And he's even questioning Aaron on why he's having Nell as his double.
He still thinks like maybe it could be her. And he's like, no, he doesn't believe that.
Yeah, and Aaron's logic is basically like, well, keep your enemies closer. Right?
Yeah, but like he knows how his brother is so mentally not well of Abram that like, but because he's like I don't want anyone else to die because of me. And now that I know that Abram died because it was supposed to be me, why would he want another person to die because of him?
Yeah.
And then Aaron's like, I told you everything in the infirmary. She's the insurance, Bradshaw. Without her, I can't keep you safe. You understand?
Yeah.
We're like, I was not understing where the story was
neither.
going to go.
This part was like super confusing for me. So I was like, okay, where's this going?
But then, so Aaron knew about the black bullet before Nell came to the squad.
Yeah.
Bones didn't. And then he just tells her, like, you already hated them before. He thought, like, you would have instantly killed her.
Yeah, exactly.
If you knew she was coming and the black bullet was for you. So they're expecting an ambush. So they're kind of like gearing up for that. And she's getting a little bit nervous about it all. And it's like immediately goes into
the mission. Yeah, and immediately things start going wrong. The weather's bad. They've got a parachute drop into the location, and they basically all get separated at that point, right?
Yeah, she crashes into something else. Bradshaw's worried about her.
Yeah.
Everything just seems to be going wrong right away.
Immediately.
Like they don't even know where the others are.
And Bones radios the other squad members, and Nell immediately clocks, like, that's not his voice.
Yes.
Yeah, that's somebody else. And Bones is like, nah, don't believe you.
Yeah,
Because they're already not, like, he doesn't trust her at all, right? He's like,
no matter what you say,
Yeah.
I don't think he was ever going to trust her.
exactly.
Because, she's like telling me, like, that is not him. That is not him. And then she's like, she's like, are you guys, I believed that she would know what they sound like different.
Yeah, because she literally examined them. She knows their traits. She knows everything about them, right?
And then I think she doesn't want them to respond. Right?
Yeah, she's like, don't tell them where we are.
Yeah. And then immediately he goes like, I don't trust you, Bunny. Pull something like that again and I'll cut your throat myself.
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah, everyone's on high tension.
And then they get ambushed. Yeah, Nell takes out a few soldiers, including one of their own team members. And this is when Bradshaw's like, what the fuck did you do?
Yep.
And she's like, well, he tried to attack me and kill me. What else was I supposed to do? But again, no trust. So
Yep.
he doesn't know what to believe.
I wouldn't believe it either.
Yeah.
Like it's, you just met this person.
There's a rat on your team. You don't know who to trust.
But I think like that in his mind was like, well, then I don't trust you anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Killing someone on the squad without like definitive proof.
Yeah.
That would make anyone be like, well, no, I don't trust you.
Exactly. And then he pulls a gun on her.
And we still don't know where Aaron is, by the way.
Yeah, we don't know. We haven't heard from Aaron. Like the sergeant, like
I know.
the command guy. No word from him.
They finally get in touch and they're like, okay, we're on your way. We're going to the evacuation, the second drop. That's their mission, is to go to the pickup area.
Pulls a gun on her, tells her put her hands behind her back, and she's like, just kill me. And then a bomb goes off.
Yes.
Right? It blows them up. Well, they're not harmed during this though, so. But when Nell comes to, she's tied up. And they're in the trenches getting airstrikes still. And then Bradshaw is able to contact Aaron. At this point, they find a working radio. And basically, Nell can't hear what he says on the radio, but basically it's like kill Bunny.
Yes. Right? And also in her mind, she thinks, because she was on that mission, that she killed Abram.
Yes.
But I didn't believe that was her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we obviously don't know.
Yeah.
But in her mind, she's like, well, it's a black bullet.
Yeah.
I was on the squad. Maybe I killed him.
Yeah.
Because she is a good shot.
Yeah, exactly.
But I didn't believe that. Yeah, I thought it was so crazy how Aaron on the thing was like, kill her. Like, immediately I was like, oh, I'm sorry?
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is when it gets like really crazy.
So apparently she goes, Aaron will hate me for this, but I have to tell you a secret. Oh, this is Bones, sorry.
Yeah.
I have to tell you a secret. My mother was sick most of her life, and she only got 5 years with me and Aaron before she passed. I didn't know she was sick for a long time, not until her aunt started taking us to see her in the hospital. Because he killed our aunt when we were 12. He grew tired of her senselessness, beatings, and decided to take care of it. So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not that big of a secret, to be honest with you.
No.
They are trained killers.
Exactly. It kind of makes sense. But then I guess Aaron got really power hungry. You know, he always wanted more and more and more. They got involved in underground operations, dealing with dangerous black market networks.
Yep. It says 2 years ago he got into a fight with his dealing partner. He won't tell me what happened, but it was bad enough for him to pull his exports that were on their way to Patagonia. I think whoever fucked over may have been the reason for the attack.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, you're not talking about the Uriah attack. He goes, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm talking about that one.
She's pissed.
Yeah, she's like, I hate you.
I hate you.
Yeah, because now she's like, you're the reason Jenkins is
Yeah,
dead. Your
exactly.
brother is the reason he's dead.
Exactly.
And he's like, I'm telling you this because I care about you, but I'm tired of lying. I don't give a shit about your squad, but I wanted to tell you because I can't lie for him anymore. Not when he wanted to murder you.
Yep.
Who?
because she wasn't supposed to survive the past attack.
No.
Aaron only found out she lived a few months ago and used his influence to have her brought into their unit as bait.
Yeah, she's mad because she thinks that Bones knew about her before she came, but he didn't.
But he didn't.
Yeah, he goes, no, I swear I didn't. Aaron did, but he didn't tell me until I stormed into his room the night after we...
Yeah.
And then she's like, you should have killed me because I will never look at you the same. Are you sure? I don't know. Everything's like so mucky right now.
Yeah. And then Nell tells him she was the one who shot Abram. And she was upset that she didn't have Bradshaw. She was only did it under orders.
Yeah, I was aiming for you. And then he's like, what have you done? I felt nothing. I was upset that I didn't hit you.
Yeah.
And then he was like, well, who gave the orders? He like wants to know. And I don't think we know.
No, she doesn't say.
No.
Yeah. And then basically he's like, no, I know it wasn't personal. I know you're just going through the motions. So why would I punish you? You're just the weapon fired, not the evil that wields it. And she's like, I'm tired of being the weapon. I'm tired of killing. I want to be free. Make me a good riot and kill me.
I know. I thought it was crazy that she's like begging him
Yeah.
for him to kill her.
I know.
But he tells her that he won't risk losing her.
Yeah.
He's like, he's mad at her, but I'm never gonna want to lose you.
And he's like, would you kill me if I took Jenkins from you? Tell me you would and I'll give you what you want, Bun. But don't you dare fucking lie to me. Would you watch the light leave my flesh? Would you send the devil back to hell?
I thought this was cute. I don't think I continue being Bones because Bones is heartless and ruthless. But ever since meeting you, I've been anything but those things. When I look at you, I feel like my thoughts are no longer blurry. This dark underworld I reign in doesn't have to be the one I die in. Oh, and that's like immediately I thought he was gonna die. Then.
Cute.
So cute.
Like this part of the book was so good.
Yeah.
So good.
I loved it. I love this
Yeah.
part. So they're in a bunker, right? And they're just chilling, trying to figure out what they're going to do next.
Yeah.
What the hell are they going to do next?
They still don't trust each other though at this point, which I thought was a little odd, but like obviously, but like I don't know. I just thought it was a little confusing because
Yeah.
he locks the bunker but
Yes.
doesn't give her the code, and he's like, "It's for
Yes.
my safety," and she's like, "Well, what the hell?"
Yeah, I know. Being so intimate, being saying you don't want her to die.
Yeah, and telling her you want a life with her. Like,
Yes, but you don't
know.
fully trust her.
Yeah.
But she even told you. You guys both kind of laid it on the line. She's
Yeah.
like, I killed Abram. He's like, it's
Exactly.
my brother's fault that Jenkins
Yeah.
is dead.
Yeah.
So it's like, come on, guys.
Both wronged each other, but yeah, they kind of just get cleaned up, have a bite to eat, and yeah.
Yeah, he leaves, come back. She thought maybe he left her there
Yeah.
to die. And then he says, I will forgive you about Abram.
Yeah, I forgive you. All I want is to be by your side in training, in war, in death. I can't picture myself anymore without you being there, Bun. You linger in my thoughts and my fears, but mostly you're the cause of all the emotions I feel again. I was dead until you tripped on my foot on the plane.
I know, I love it. This part where they're like, these so many cute
So
quotes.
cute. So many cute quotes.
I love it. I love it. And they go into like, what they want to do. Aaron told me he wanted to have a coffee shop. Was it always something he dreamt of? And they kind of dream with each other of
Yeah.
like what could be. And then they're getting ready to leave. And then
No,
shit happens.
They have a little spicy
Ooh,
action.
did I leave that? Oh, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is where he like breaks the mirror and she like cuts him. And
Yeah. And then they're like, we don't have time.
Yeah.
Baby, who cares?
we have all the time we need. Carve me up.
Oh, God. Yeah, they have to get into some sexiness.
Crazy. Yeah, this one was a long scene too.
Yeah. And in her mind, or his mind, I love you, I shouldn't, but I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's her mind.
Yeah. But I think he also said it in his mind as well.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
I love you. Mm-hmm. So we know they are in love. So yeah, basically the next day they're making a plan to leave, to get out of the bunker and go to a new base to
He's trying to be like, hey, like, doesn't want her dead.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, like, what makes you think
he's not gonna kill me.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And in her mind, she said it in her mind that she doubts that Aaron tells him everything. Like, she does not trust Aaron now. That, like, okay, I understand you want to keep me alive, but it doesn't mean he hasn't told other people to execute me.
Exactly. Yeah, but then they get ambushed. And then they are taken as prisoners.
And we still don't know who's trying to attack them.
No. She does notice the uniforms of some of the soldiers, though.
That's
And she's
right.
kind of clocking, like, wait, I've seen that before, right?
And she's like, oh, maybe it's the Hades squad.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so if they're part of this operation to get us, then who else is there?
Exactly.
Which I'm like, yeah, like, what's happening? Why are they trying to get at them?
Yeah.
And then he somehow can't go. So it goes, he's kind of like, what happens if he can't move? Oh, he's gonna go into his a dazed
Oh,
state.
yes, his catatonic state.
Yes. And then he's like, it looks like this is where our mission ends together. Find
Yes.
Aaron. Which he's been in so many high pressure situations.
Yeah.
Why would this be the moment that he goes into?
In the
'Cause, like,
moment of the action.
Yes.
Like, bro, you're getting ambushed. And immediately he's like, no. Fade no.
and she starts killing people. People try and kill her.
Yeah.
And then she gets hit.
Yes.
I think she gets knifed. Yeah, pulled the knife from my flesh, cutting. Yeah, and then she's like, "Well, if I don't get somewhere, I'm going to die."
Yeah.
And then she tries to, get one of the guys to talk, and he goes like, "Kill me." And then where is it? Oh, then somehow he gets the one up on her. And then they clue in, like, he's like radioing to someone, being like, it's her.
Yeah, it's her because he sees the tattoo on her neck.
Oh, it's the
and,
tattoo. Oh, yes, yes.
Her scars, because she has certain scars on her neck. And he's like, it's her. And then this is when they're taken hostage.
Yep. Trying to figure out who is she talking to. She's next to Bones. Yeah. And everyone's so freaking aggressive with her. Okay.
Well, to be expected, a bunch of fucking men
Yeah.
who are psychopaths.
Who is she talking to right now?
And then, yeah, she's kind of like brought in for questioning into this like war room. And she sees Aaron.
Oh, yeah.
On he's been beaten really badly and he's bleeding. And basically, she's really upset. And then they're like, bring in the brother.
Yeah, and they get handsy with her.
Yeah. He starts to like, he's like, oh, basically like, suck my dick. Is that
Yeah.
what he's forcing her to do?
Yes.
Yeah, making Bradshaw watch.
Ugh. Disgusting.
And then Jenkins walks in. This is where I think the book should have ended and she should have made another book.
Ooh, yes.
You know, like
Yes.
there was just like, because there's only 10, like basically 10% left in this book at this point. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, like, I
Like
kind
it would have been such a good cliffhanger for Jenkins stalking her and be like, Jenkins.
I 1,000% agree.
And then have the second book
kind of continue with this.
continue with this, her story with Jenkins, and then well, we'll get to it, but
Yes.
Bradshaw trying to find her, right?
Yeah, I never thought about that, but I that's
Like that would have been such a good second book.
totally agree. Yeah, because the rest of this book was so rushed, unnecessarily rushed.
Yeah. Like,
Like-
there's only, like, we're at 86% in the book right now, and like there's so many loose ends. Like
I wanted it to flush out more.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. I totally agree. This is where we find that Jenkins is the leader of the Ghost Squad.
Yes. She's like, Jenkins, how are you alive? He lets out a small sigh, then smiles with anguish brimming in his eyes. Yeah, I got hurt more than I expected, but my injuries weren't life-threatening. I was originally going to have you killed with the rest of the squad, but you didn't go out with the rest of them. I was already on the fence about it because, as silly as it was, I liked you. You were different. You had what it took to be like me, to stand here. With me, Gallows, I let you live. I even let you choose whether I'd take you with me or not, but you chose to leave me behind, as I suggested. I knew you'd be a weakness to me, and look, fate still brought you here to me, taunting me.
Yeah, and then he was like, saying like how he still loves you, and then he also kills the guy who like touched her too. I guess Greg was supposed to kill Aaron. I guess he wanted to toy with the two of you first before finishing the job. And then yeah, this is where Bradshaw and them are like thinking they're going to become killed now.
Yeah.
Jenkins just going to kill them.
Yeah. And she's like, let them leave, Jenkins. I want to stay with you. I'll kill them myself if they come back. I'll do it. I want them to live and to know that we are out here in the dark together. That if they ever dare cross the line again, we'll be at the end for them.
Yeah. And in her mind, she's like, I love him. I'm never going to tell him that. He won't stay if I do. So this was believable why she wouldn't say it. And I think he knew that too. Obviously, we know from now on.
Yeah.
And then he goes, Bones is like, you think I'm leaving you? This isn't a goodbye.
He's like, there's no life without you. There wasn't one before. There sure as fuck won't be one after. I love you, Bunny.
Oh, and he kisses her.
And then she's like, he loves me.
Of course he fucking does.
Obviously.
And they take him away.
Yeah.
And then the dreaded 3 years later crap.
See, like,
This is where the book fell off for me, like completely.
I agree. Like it was so good up until this point.
Yes.
Like
It would have been a 5 stars.
It would have been a 5-star for me too, but this is just so rushed.
Yes.
This last 10% of the book.
Yeah. Like okay, so they go 3 years later. She hasn't killed anyone since.
No, she's living this peaceful, lavish life with friggin' Jenkins.
It goes into like how he loves Hans Zimmer, who I love, a song by him. He's like, can you like hum it to me? And then immediately he goes, do you remember how that man looked at you before we sent him away? 3 years later, and you're bringing up Bones now?
It was so weird.
Yeah.
And like he knows she doesn't love him, but he's like, oh, you just being here with me is enough.
Yeah, he's like, you never looked at me that same way.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, my love is big enough for both of us.
Yeah.
And then he jumps again 6 months
6
later.
months later.
So
Jenkins has
stupid.
left for London. He's been really anxious about something going on behind the scenes. Excuse me. He doesn't really keeps her in the dark about most stuff now.
And he has her being watched by like 2 of his squads.
Yeah.
And she tries to be like, hey, well, what do you guys want to do? Like, you guys don't want to be here doing this.
Yeah.
And then she says her home in her mind, my home will always be with Bradshaw. I wish I could remember his smile instead of the pain I saw before he left. So you kind of know they're going to hook up.
Obviously.
And then she sees him.
He comes to rescue her.
Hey, Bunny. And she's like, you weren't supposed to come back from you, idiot. I don't know. Like, I love this interaction, but it's also like, really?
Come on. Like, there's just, I don't know.
Yeah. I'll never leave you.
There was just so much potential for it to be like a duet and actually get to know, because it's been 3 years. Like, what happened in those 3 years? How did he track her down? Like, how is he feeling during that time? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I know. I was getting so annoyed with this because it just felt like it felt way too quick. The interaction with them was really cute.
Yeah.
But it was just so quick. It was like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't really care. So then, they go into, she talks about how he treated like a queen. I never wanted anything. He's thinking maybe he's too late. I could never love him like I do you, Bradshaw. He was good to me, but he isn't you. And he tells her like he's been watching her this whole time. It killed him to know if she loved him
Yeah.
like her.
Yeah, like how good would it have been, like being in his perspective, like watching her and like yearning for her, like missed potential for me.
Yeah, I don't know. This part boy, it's fucking frustrating me so much. And then I was like trying to figure out, okay, what's gonna happen now?
Yeah.
Like, how are they gonna get out of this situation?
I know, and I'm looking at like how much is left in the book. I'm like,
I know.
What?
Yes, me too. I was like, okay, we're gonna go to book number 2 now. Like, let's go.
yeah, no,
Yeah, and then it goes into like the other guys come, you know, Jefferson, and they're
the
like,
whole
oh,
squad is there, of course.
yes. And then it's like, oh, but 4 clicks south, we got someone, we got, you know,
Yeah.
people in.
Obviously, like that friggin' Jenkins house, like it's
Yeah.
obviously heavily guarded. You know.
They have to get to like a chopper somewhere else. I don't know. This whole thing was just way too quick.
Yeah.
Wasn't believable. You know, they get surrounded. I don't know.
Aaron steps on like an IED in the ground and like they're forced to leave him behind.
Yes.
But like this part was so weird to me too. Like it wasn't like a heartfelt like goodbye. It was just like, okay, I'll take care of him.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I can't go on without you. And then immediately they're like moving on.
Yes.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yes.
That's your twin brother. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, yeah.
So weird.
Yeah. The ending bothered me.
know.
Bothered me. And then she or him, he gets hit. Bones get hit.
Yeah, she also gets shot in the stomach, I think, or something along those lines. And then Jenkins shows up.
What an unfortunate end to the Bright brothers. Don't you think you couldn't just let her be? I don't know. This whole ending was just feeling like
Yeah.
twist the fucking, like, what's it? Like a villain was like twisting his mustache. Like,
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I hated it. I hated this ending. It ruined the book for me. So then, okay, more thing that fucking bugs me. So he's about to die, okay, Jenkins, and then, you know, it's like, okay, one last dance,
song
you and
for
me. It was
me.
fun while it lasted, Gallows. Can you hum a stupid song for me? The song from fucking Hans Zimmer.
Yeah.
And she says, "I love you."
I know. It's like, okay.
No, I didn't buy
Like,
this. I don't buy this ending where
yeah.
she's so sweet. She hums
No.
him. He's a.
Takes the music box.
I fucking,
and-
I hate it. I hated
Yeah.
it. Hated it. And then she cries and it says, "I love you." I just hated it.
Yeah.
You told him I don't know. I hated it. I
Yeah.
hated this. I hated this. So stupid.
And then they're escaping, and then one of the soldiers brings Aaron. He's lost his legs, but he's still alive.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Promise me forever, Bun. You're where my sanity starts. I can hear the smell in his voice. You are where mine ends. Boom, 5 years later. I fucking hate this. I hate this. The constant, like, 5 years later.
And they're living in Scotland. It's her, Bradshaw, and Aaron all living together. They have a son. Like, okay.
Yep. I don't know. I hated these endings. And this is what pissed me off even fucking more, okay? So they're talking about their fucking where they're living, and then an orange flickers over the photos we've hung on the walls. Some of Malum, Abrams smiling at the other side. Others are Jenkins and Bunny in London, sharing a kiss on the balcony.
Like, and the music box on the fireplace.
No,
Like,
no. Why would you have
okay.
a picture of these two kissing
Yeah.
in your home?
In your home. Like, what? He literally tried to kill you.
And I know she misses him in the way I'll always miss Abram. No, you don't.
Like,
I don't like
again,
this.
like, were you lovers?
Yes! Were you lovers?
I don't know.
I hated it. I
And
hated
then
it. I
in the
hated it.
end, I fell in love with a riot soldier after all.
Hated it.
Yeah, the ending is what docked a star for me. It was so good
Yes.
up until the last 10% of the book.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I just don't get it.
On
Like,
the
it had
same
so
page.
much potential to be an amazing duet, you know, but.
And okay, let's say like, she wanted to wrap it up, didn't want to do more of the story. Okay, that's fine. But to then have her say she loves him, to give a picture on your wall of him kissing.
Exactly.
And then for him to be like, she'll always love him like I loved Abram.
Yeah.
No, you can also respect that relationship.
Yeah.
But once you learn more things about that person, that's gone.
Yeah, 100%. He tried to kill you.
Yes,
Like,
that's gone. And I don't care if he treated like a princess, Stockholm syndrome bullshit. I hated that.
100%.
Hated that.
Yeah.
So I'm docking off a half a point. It's 4 stars for me, people.
Yeah.
That's what really ruined the book for me.
It was so good up until the last 10%. It would have been a 5-star easy.
Yeah, just maybe make it like a novella, not a full book, because I understand it can kind of get redundant.
Yeah,
But the wrapping up and then the I love you, I hated it.
I didn't like the ending.
No,
way too rushed.
Yeah, did not like it at all.
But
Bothered me.
yeah.
But I really enjoyed the book.
Yeah, me too.
I
did.
I
loved it.
I loved it too. I really enjoyed it. The pain kink thing wasn't too crazy.
No, it wasn't like so unbelievable.
No. No.
To the point where it's like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was, the spicy scenes were like thoughtfully placed too. It wasn't like overbearing or too much.
Just the Aaron one we talked about.
Yeah,
that was like unnecessary.
Yeah,
that can get removed.
Didn't need to be in there.
No, like maybe she's trying to put it in there to make us feel more sad.
Like she loved Aaron.
Yeah, and like when he was potentially gonna die, you're gonna be sad.
Yeah,
but then he just still survived. So now you're living happily together. That you guys both fucked each other.
Yeah, it was weird.
Weird.
Very weird.
But yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too.
I hope everyone else enjoyed it too.
Let us know your thoughts.
Do you want to go over the next book? Do you have it?
I don't know if I have it.
So we did a vote on our fable, which is just one more chapter, which if you guys have been so far, you know about it. And people voted Bourbon and Lies by Victoria Wilder, which is like the Bourbon Boys is what she called it.
The Bourbon Boys is the first one in the series. Let's see.
Santana's going to get it.
Grab a drink.
I know Cam Moronova is doing another like duology.
Yeah.
Another military one.
Yeah.
No clue what it's going to be about.
Yeah.
Because the characters do look different. The characters that she drew, because Santana told me that she draws all of her covers, which is amazing.
I think that's awesome.
I love that.
I love it.
But then also, that's a duology. Why couldn't this one be a duology?
I know. That's what made me so sad. I was like, oh, they're not even like connected. Like,
they look totally different.
Yeah,
the characters.
Yeah.
So, but I'm curious to know what that's going to be about.
All right, so Bourbon and Lies by Victoria Wilder. In Fiasco, Kentucky, there is one rule: never fall for a fox brother. Any woman who did ended up dead, or so the rumor goes. Townies call it a curse, but I've lived it and I won't survive it again. I'm not a cop anymore, but I've seen enough danger to know that Lainey Young, the beautiful stranger who just showed up in my small town, is running from it. She's lying about where she came from and what she's doing here. I don't want her near my family or the quiet life I've made for myself, but my brothers have other plans. Now she's everywhere, working at my distillery, living in our guest house, calling me cowboy, and skinny dipping in my horse trough. But it's the way she dishes out attitude from that pretty mouth of hers that has me wanting things I've sworn to myself I'd never want again. I should push her away, forget how her lips taste, and ignore how she makes me want more out of life again. When her past shows up and mingles too closely with mine, her lies begin to unravel. The rules don't matter anymore. I mess up, dig too far, and get too close. Only 2 things have the power to keep her safe now: bourbon and lies. Oh, that was a long one.
That's a long one. This is our first like Western-ish book, which I'm kind of excited
I know.
about.
This one sounds good.
It does sound good. There are, I believe, 3 or 4 books in the Bourbon Boys. So I'm curious to know if this is going to be good enough to read about the other brothers, because they're brothers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to try this out.
Yeah, me too. It has good reviews, so.
It does. It does.
Shall see.
We might be into cowboys. Who knows? This might convert us. Thank you guys if you're still listening, following along. We hope you read and enjoyed Leave Me Behind. If you're just here for the hangout and chats, thank you for staying. Follow us on all of our social medias, TikTok, Instagram, Fable. Give us a 5-star rating.
On Apple and Spotify.
Yes.
Comment on our YouTube. Give us a like.
Put it on your notifications. We really appreciate everyone who is continuing to listen.
Yeah.
If this is your first time, I guess it can't. Well, maybe it is. Thanks for listening to us. And catch us next week. Okay, you guys, we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Drama, but also our July releases for the month.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.